Hi, my name's Brandon Williams. I'm with Great Lakes Additive out of Traverse City, Michigan. I wanted to make a short video and talk a little bit about the T1 Max by FL Sun and the T1. FL Sun reached out and they sent us this beautiful printer and asked for our unbiased review, which we're going to do our very best to do. So far, I'm very happy. I am blown away with the amount of speed, reliability, precision, build quality. We'll go over some of those details in a minute. But right now, I just wanted to kind of introduce you to who we are and these two printers. So a little bit about us. We are a 3D printing outfit, primarily reverse engineering, 3D scanning, reverse engineering, that type of thing. We utilize 3D printers. We have 206. We unfortunately can't show all of them in this space right now because they are currently printing something confidential. So we put these two beautiful machines in my personal garage outside of our shop. Lighting might be a little funky and you might hear some things in the background, but that just makes it more real, I guess you can say. We've worked on projects for the United States Navy, the United States National Guard, NASA, all sorts of other local and national companies. We do all of our work in-house, although we do outsource certain jobs that if we're not able to slip them in our queue, we will outsource to other small businesses as well. Our business model is pretty simple. We're in a LLC S Corp. We got started with the idea that we were going to help other people bring their inventions to life without having to do what I did, take a second mortgage out and invest in injection molding, which is usually the go-to for prototyping back in the day, or was what was used. We started doing that and we've grown substantially to, like I said earlier, 206 3D printers. They range from FDM, SLA to powder bed. We used to do metals, but we do not offer that anymore. The demand was just, it wasn't there. So we sold the machine and we don't regret it. I've been doing this for 13 years now, 3D printing, reverse engineering, self-taught. I taught myself Fusion 360 like a lot of you have done, SolidWorks, multiple 3D scanning software programs, and 3D printing itself. I started back when 3D printers were not available on Amazon. They weren't $300. When I got started, I took out a second mortgage on this place right here and bought myself a 3D Systems 3D printer. It was massive. It weighed probably 1,000 pounds, had wheels. We could wheel it around. I thought it was the bee's knees. It was very high tech at the time. It had a very small build volume. So considering the amount of money I paid for that thing versus what qualities came with it, what features, kind of feel ripped off. But that is how technology evolves. Let's see. We currently are working on a few projects. One of them for a really awesome company downstate in Michigan called Digitech. We're doing lots of parts for them, and we do a lot of parts for other automotive companies that are not the major guys. We don't do work for Ford, GM, or anything like that. We do work for people who supply parts to them. So if you're looking to get into 3D printing, my advice is probably stay away from the articulated dragons and the other toys and trinkets, and maybe focus on something that's more useful, that is hard to find. Obsolete products are a good thing to invest your time into. Highly recommend that. When we're looking for a new printer, we're looking for a few things. For one, we're looking for reliability. Back in the day, we were constantly taking time out of the day to fix, upgrade, repair, or they'll fix and repair kind of the same thing, kind of not. We were always having to learn on our own. which is fine. And that taught us a lot of things about repair work. But that's good, but we need companies that can back up their machines. FL Sun has backed up their machines 100%, given us a dedicated customer service agent. FL Sun Mary is her name. She's incredibly smart, really good at what she does. She cares, she checks up on us, which is something that even the big company in the very beginning never did for us. We had to have an expensive service contract. Wasn't worth it. We look for reliability, like I said. We look for speed, high precision, ability to print in multiple materials, and so on and so forth. One of my favorite features, though, of modern printers is the automatic bed leveling. That wasn't something back in the day. You had to spin the knobs, take a piece of paper, put it in there and level it out, and hope to God that it was going to stick to the glass bed or whatever you're using. That's no longer the case. This T1 Max right now is going through its procedure of leveling itself, and it's tedious and time consuming, but it's no longer than what would be with your Bambu Lab. We have a couple P1Ss, we love those too, but these we are moving over to the FL Suns for a number of reasons. One being that they're faster. Support is almost instantaneous for us. You got to build a relationship just like you do with any other company. So it's like a friendship with them, relationship. We give, they give, we take, they take, type of thing. Some of the features of this one here in comparison to, let's say, the Bambu Lab is this one only uses 400 watts, while the Bambu Lab uses around 1200 watts. So for ordinary families, it has a lower requirements on the power supply. So for us, when I started, the power requirements were astronomical. I was paying through the rear for our monthly electric bill. That's no longer the case. The code has been open sourced on this, which is incredible. They could have kept it closed, but they chose to open source it. When there's multiple models on one print bed, you can skip printing certain ones, which is very useful in many cases. The adhesion of the pie plate has been optimized using what they say is an optimized code. And judging off of the FL Sun T1 and the T1 Max, the difference is clear with the code that they use to optimize the leveling, which has affected the pie stickiness and adhesion. So that's, we're really happy about that. Let's see, the structure has been redesigned to significantly improve the success rate of material breakage detection, which is true. I've tested this numerous times. These are constantly running. So this one right here, the T1, this material broke. It did detect it, but it took too long to register it and we missed a layer. This one, the material broke on purpose. We did it just to see how long it would take, and it stopped almost instantaneously. As soon as it detected that there was no more filament, it stopped, which was a game changer for us. The Wi-Fi signal module has been upgraded from Wi-Fi 4 to Wi-Fi 6. Simultaneous hardware and software adaptations have been made. Another one that we really like is when you're trying to change the filament, previously the filament would kind of just stay there. You're thinking it's in there, but it wasn't in there, and it would start grabbing, but it's not grabbing at anything, and it wouldn't know that it didn't have anything. You start to print and nothing's printing. With the T1 Max, we've noticed that they've solved that problem. There's more time for the gear to turn, and there's a better grip on there for it to grab the filament. So with that being said, let's see what else we got there. Assembly is very simple. It was already easy with the T1, but with the T1 Max, it's been, I don't know how they did it, but it's almost like a snap together, tighten a couple bolts, and you're good to go. The hot end on the original T1, you had to snap it on the rails, and then you had these little tiny set screws. You know, it wasn't really that difficult, but if you're like me, you drink an energy drink, your hands shake a little bit, you might get confused and you might lose a screw. With this one, there's no longer the need for set screws. So that's also a game changer. The rigidity of the frame has been incredible. We've tested this in various conditions on unlevel tables, on the ground, just to see how it shakes and how it responds. The adaptive features on here allow it to adjust itself to make up for any type of shaking. External vibration compensation is what it's called. Prior to some of the upgrades happening on the T1, the effector cable would shake violently, and sometimes the filament would get stuck right here on the chain, which it never happened to us, but I've heard about it happening. But like I said, it's never happened to us. What they did with this is they've made these special clips to allow the effector chain to connect to the cooling hose. And speaking of the cooling hose, this thing it's beefy. It can cool down a part quite fast. And this is running right now. It's really hard to hear it, isn't it? And once it gets rolling though, you can hear the telltale song that every 3D printer sings when it's playing, but it's not that loud. Let's see, some of the parts we've done with this, we used TPU. We printed a croc. I mean, how cool is this stuff? You can make your own shoes. That's pretty sweet. We print with PETG carbon fiber. Prints that like a dream. Look how smooth that is. It's beautiful. No flaws whatsoever, in my opinion. We do mass production with these, and it handles it like a dream. So these are for an automotive company downstate. These are their parts, and we just made 2,000 of these parts in 3 days using 3 FL Suns. That's incredible. And the build height on these as well. Look how much build height you have. There's so much you can do with these. This one has, a door and closed-in walls, but they took them off on the T1 Max to allow for an even bigger build volume without having to completely redesign the frame. That's genius. I think that's resourceful, and it's benefited us because prior to them doing that, we weren't allowed to print these sideways. Now we can. They just fit. Overall, I'd have to say that the FL Sun T1 Max has stepped up our game, increased our productivity, increased our confidence in FL Sun 3D printers. This is our first of FL Suns right here, and we will continue to patronize their company. They're a wonderful company. If you're in the market for a 3D printer, I highly recommend getting the FL Sun T1 or the T1 Max, or really any of the newer FL Sun Delta printers. Delta's where it's at, man. I love Delta. So thank you for watching. If you have any questions, just post them below in the comments, and I'll do my best to get back to you as soon as possible. If you're thinking about starting a 3D printing company and don't know what to do, what you want to make, reach out. I'm happy to share some tips and insight on what might be the best things fit for you. So thank you. Have a good day. Bye.